How you doing? My name is Chris. Welcome to my shop, and I'm not gonna lie to you. It's cold out here. "15 degrees currently in my shop. It's about, I'd say about 5 degrees cooler than that in town, but I live on top of a pretty large hill and it gets colder up here. And that's, I guess that's like what, -9 for you Celsius type people? Anyway, it's chilly. But enough about my problems. Last year around this time, I released a video on how to air dry wood, and then that video, it was me showing you some slabs of wood that I had purchased along with my buddy Jay Rivera, and I did the video on how to properly, you know, at least in my opinion, how you properly go about air drying wood for yourself. And since it's a year from then, I figured a follow-up would be in store because it's time for me to move that wood, those slabs, and put them in a different place in my shop because I believe they're dry. So what do you say we run over there? I'll show you what I had set up. It's different from what I had in the video. And then we'll pull those boards out and we'll see how well I did. All right, this is the setup that I ended up having to construct. In the first video that I did last year, I was going to lay out a patch in my backyard to level the ground and also level it so I could put these boards on it. But stupid me, it was February and the ground was frozen. So I constructed this little stand that you can see that these slabs are sitting on now. And I put the stickers in. As you can see, there's stickers here that are separating the board so that, you know, the air can flow through. And this provided plenty of airflow underneath and also between the boards, and I had a roof on top of this that I have since taken off to shed the water. But let me go ahead and grab these slabs. Let's put them up on my workbench, and we'll see if they've twisted or if they've warped, and if they have, to what degree. Well, they're a little bit lighter. They're still pretty heavy, though. But that's because the moisture has gone from the majority of these slabs. But let me do this. Because I want to check the moisture content of this wood. Let me grab my moisture meter, and we can check that together. But I also want to show you what to inspect when you're doing this for yourself, because I want to know if these boards have cupped, or if there's any twisting going on, or how much warpage may have happened. And I also did a treatment that I want to talk to you about to prevent checking on the ends of the boards too. That's part of the drying process that's in that video that I put out last year. Which, by the way, if you want to check that video out, I'll leave a link to it down in the description. I mean, I went into a lot of detail in that video that I won't be going into today. I just want to check these boards and give you a follow-up to see how well I did. So let me grab my moisture meter, move the camera, and then we'll proceed from there. All right, I just want to wipe this off real quick to give you guys a better look at what this looks like. I also want to talk to you about the sealer that I used, and I've got my moisture meter so we can check the moisture content of this wood as well. Okay, this is the product that I was talking about that I used. This is called Anchor Seal. It's specifically designed for exactly what I did, and that's to coat the end grain of this wood. Because, in case you don't know it, when wood dries, the moisture gets released much faster from the end grain than it does from the long grain up top here. And it's a cool product, but it's kind of a waxy product. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but you can see that when I scrape this, it kind of, you get some wax off of it. And that's just how it seals it so that the board will dry evenly. As far as how this board fared, I mean, I think it's okay. I mean, I expected it to be a little, you know, a little difficult to work with. I didn't expect it to dry perfectly flat, but it looks pretty good until you get to right about the middle, and I got a little bit of cupping that's going on there. But, you know, otherwise, it's looking pretty good. And the Anchor Seal you use, because it helps prevent checking. And if you look at the end of this board, I think you get a pretty good look at that, can't you? There is no checking in this. I cleaned off these edges and then sealed it immediately. And I had got no checking on either one of these slabs, so that's a good deal. Let me grab my moisture meter. You're going to have to read this upside down with me because that's kind of how it reads out. But let me move the camera so you can get a better look at that, and we'll find out what the moisture content of this is. Okay, this is kind of a cheapo moisture meter, but it's, you know, it's accurate enough. It gets me in the ballpark. Let me see if I can get a reading on this for you, and see if I can get my camera to focus on the numbers. And it looks like we're going to be right around, on the 7.5, 7.6, I think is probably the best way to go with this. So, and that's fine. in case you didn't know it, the moisture level that you want for wood, like if you're going to be using it for furniture or indoor use, you want the moisture level in wood to be somewhere between 6 and 9%. It'll stay stable at that point in time, and by the time it gets between 6 and 9%, you're not going to have any further issues with cracking or cupping or twisting or things of that nature. You're good to go at between 6 and 9. This was around 7.5, so it's not bad. I mean, I've got some hand planing and some sanding in my future, but to be honest with you, I don't know what Jay has in mind to make out of these two slabs. I bought one, he bought the other, and we decided that we'd do a project with each other. We just haven't decided what that project's going to be yet. But you know what? I want to do this follow-up just because I want to let you know that the information I gave you last year was actually good. So, because there can be questions when it comes to me and advice. But apparently my advice on this one wasn't so bad. So if you guys want to do this and you want to know more about doing it, then go ahead and check that video in the description down below that I did last year, and I go through a lot more than I went through today. But for now, I think we're good. I can store this wood in a different place, make room for my snowblower, because it's going to snow this weekend. So, yay. You guys take care. Get out in your shops, go make that first cut, and get something done. I'll talk to you later.